All right. All right. Let's turn on some music while we go ahead and while we go ahead and while we go ahead and let's see. Like Tega won DreamCon at Midwest Gaming, so totally happy for him. All right, let's go ahead and I want to go over. I definitely want to go over some stuff. That's for sure. Set the mood. Yeah, we're gonna set the mood right now, right? We're totally gonna go set the mood. Let's go to myself for a moment, right? What's going on though? I hope everybody's been doing pretty well. Yeah, I think my pick is at the other side, but it's just my hair is just messed up currently. It's all good though. But I hope everybody's doing all right though. So we're gonna sit down. We're gonna go. We're gonna go over this guide as promised. And not now personally, it's pretty much how I view it. I know there's definitely great other geese out there. You need to buy a shampoo wholesale. Yo, first of all, I would like to be sponsored by one of them. You know what I mean? Like L'Oreal, Garnier Fructix, Tresemme. I mean, man, I would live to have one of those sponsorships. That's for damn sure. All right, let me just do something quick, fast. Mm-hmm. All right. Whoops. I don't want that open. All right. So let's go over the basics, right? Now, first of all, there are like plenty of videos that's out there, right? That let me get rid of this image right here, right? There are plenty of videos out there that definitely shows in regards of how to SPD, little tricks of the trade. I know there were definitely previous iterations in terms of, you know, what's been presented out there for ST Gief in the first place. So, first things first, let's go over this wiki, right? Let's see. Let's pull up this. Here we go, right? Let's slide this over here a sec. Let us just go over this thing, right? Hi, YouTube. Yeah. Hello, YouTube. Let's just jump right to this character, right? So obviously, I'm just gonna let you know, character's ass, right? But I feel like personally, play him right, and you can, do pretty well, right? I think you could do very well and everything like that. So obviously, his strengths very strong, close range. Lariat's pretty good. Range on SVD is amazing because it is amazing, of course. Yeah, he's the only character with a crouch and throw. Hard to cross up because of Lariat, of course. He takes less damage because he has more health. Has a decent combo potential. He does because it freaking hurts, really. And yeah, his 720 super is definitely the most damaging in the game, right? Now his weaknesses is basically pretty, it's pretty straightforward. Does not have a projectile. You got to be offense all the time, or you're not going to win. Personally, with this right there, I sort of disagree with it. I mean, you can be on offense, but you don't have to be offensive. Like, you could be very selective in terms of how you play. Most normals have poor priority, which is true. His super has a short range. It's pretty ass, yeah. He has no vulnerability or high priority anti-air moves. He really doesn't. Hard times to get keep away tactics, which is true. And the second worst matchup of the whole game, E Honda. Many hard ones like Old Got, New Guile, Chun Li, Sim, Fei Long. I mean, subjective, but it's kind of true though. Nobody wanted to play that. So here's the funny thing, right? Somebody came out with this let's look at this 3-minute video, right?
Today we're taking a look at Zangief. The main moves you're going to need are light punch, light kick, medium kick, heavy kick, and crouching heavy kick.
Yeah, all that.
In the air, medium only cross up, and you shouldn't really use it for anything else. Double knee attack is a solid option for Zangief in the air. The light kick version stays out and is great for safe. You're going to want to use them in neutral the move with each spin.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of changed my mind. This guy's kind of sucks, though. This guy's kind of ass. Oh, all right, look. I'm going to give you an example. Let me give you an example with this thing, right? I'm going to give you a match, right? Give you a live match upon what's going to happen, right? All right, so we got ourselves an old god, right? I'm gonna start this off real slow. So here's what's happening. So you see, like right here. What stick I use? Use the Kwamba Dragon, baby. It's the only stick to use. EP? Yeah. Alright, watch this combo. That combo was That shit was disgusting, bro. That shit was just disgusting. That was just disgusting. See, that backward splash into stand medium punch to sweep, that shit hurts. Okay, so we got ourselves a. Okay, watch. Let's do another one. Woo! I mean, just let him live. Oh my god, bro, that's just horrible. That's just horrible. Tiger knee again. Okay, here's another one. Oh my god. See, look at that. Oh god, that was just awful. Yeah, that was just literally awful. I'm sorry. That was just awful. I'm so sorry. That was just awful. That was awful. Very awful. That was awful. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry folks had to see that, but that was just awful, bro. That's just like you could do legit you could do combo exhibitions on Sagat. A lot of folks use Gief as a test dummy. I use Hawk or old Got or new Got. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna come out with this guy. Let's do. Hello. Oh, it froze, didn't it? Yep, it did. All right, I'm gonna come out with this. Let's do this thing quick, fast. Hold on. I'm trying to open up. Yeah, I think it legit froze. Yeah, my man was a set dummy in place. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so let's do this, right? Okay, so as I said, he wasn't wrong. You got your jab. You got stand medium punch, stand fierce, light, stand medium kick, stand roundhouse, right? Okay, so in neutral, right? In neutral, your main button is gonna be stand medium kick. What is one of Gief's best normals, right? It reaches pretty far, right? It reaches very far, like so, and it's a pretty good footsie tool, right? The next is his sweep. Now his sweep is very good because not only it's long range, but it's pretty quick. One of the best sweeps in the game, hands down. I think it's like his sweep is like it can reach pretty far, but you see like right here, see that red box? That's just the hurt box or the hit box of his foot. So that sucker reaches pretty far, which allows you can do stuff like that. Hey Joe, just giving the guide upon how I look at things, right? So a lot of times, right, in neutral, like if you play a Shoto, say for instance like Ken, right? Ken tends to do a lot of, like in this matchup, does a lot of stand roundhouse, right? Just jumps in. Basically like, DPs. He does a lot of DPs or so. So if you end up, let's say you sweep and he does a DP, you have options to bait it. So you got, the regular SPD, right? Or if he does it again, you got sweep or so. And let's see, can I? No. Is it this? D1 lock. Ah, there it is. Let's see something right here, right? Let's turn this off, right? And let's see, loop. Let's see. You gotta do. Okay. So you got like, so basically, like I was saying, right? In neutral, Shotos tend to like, do a lot of walk-up sweeps or so. So they tend to like come here. They tend to do that. They just come like right here and like sweep and obviously try to fireball you. Obviously, if you jump, because he got one of the slowest jumps in the game, so you're just like you're just like floating in midair. So it's like slow motion for him. Allows like a whole bunch of anti-airs and all that good stuff. So practically just don't need that, right? So you're better off just like, kind of walking. You get the knockdown, you get the safe jump, and then you should be okay. But the thing is with Ken, right? Ken, you can't really safe jump like that because, his reversal DP comes up at free 1. So you kind of have to like, play it safe with him and just play it from like right here. Your footsie, to me personally, your footsie is right here. Like your neutral is right here because this is where a lot of things that you could decide or everything like that can be a factor. So if he's like right here and you see like the shimmy and all that stuff, you just like, you whiff a button, you eat it in the SPD anyway. So it's like, you see like that, like a roundhouse, a mistimed roundhouse, the man can just like, you can easily just eat an SPD in that. Or you see like right there, you can go like max distance and then you can get a sweep off of that, right? So, got this, got sweep, got SPD. Yeah, I mean, this should be it. This, I think it's pretty good, especially when you see the stand roundhouse coming, because this is like his most, stand medium punch is like his most unutilized button. Because this button hits like it has a funky hitbox, so it's like you can hit like certain spots, and you can get pretty good decent damage though. But usually this is just used for combos, so like something like that, right? Or you can just get something. You can get something like this. Like something like that. And that's a stun combo right there, right? Now, stun combos is like, hold on, let's put this man over here, right? Stun combos is like this. You got that, right? And that's a stun right there. Or you got that as well. That's the most easiest combo, which is just splash, splash, crouch, medium, lariat. Like you can do something like that, and that gives you a stun, right? And then you got the 720. So you got a couple of ways to do a 720, really. So you got crouch short into 720. And you got jump short. Hey, what's going on? There you got empty jump, right? You got empty jump. You got jump like knees, which is like that, jump downwards or so. And you got jump medium kick. Regular jump medium kick, that's like jump forward. And then you got jump down knees. Okay, come on. There you go. Another one, this one is kind of hard. Like, you can do splash. You can do like splash into 720, but that 720 kind of has to be timed a little bit. So you gotta be like, you can do it out in front or so. And then you got also jump roundhouse, right? Like he has many ways to do it, but you have to be dead up front to do so, right? Also works in Street Fighter 6. Yes, it does. It does work in Street Fighter 6. Yes, it does. It does work in Street Fighter 6, right? So you got kind of have like those to pretty much work with, right? All right. So let me try this again. Hold on a moment. Let's do this. Let's try reopening this thing again. I rather use 30th because the replay reader, I don't understand the Fightcade version because it's a lot to really go through. I much rather use 30th because it's a lot easier, right? And it keeps crashing on me. What in the hell? That's so weird. But alright, so far so good, right? So far, alright. I know I'm probably like skipping ahead in terms of stuff, right? But pretty much how to do a 360 and everything like that. I mean, usually that's on the internet, but okay, this is better. All right, let's go here. All right, let's go here, right? So, let's go to Ryu, pretty much. Let's turn this volume up in the first place. Volume mixer, yeah. There we go. Alright. This is better, right? So let's say, like I said, in terms of like, so you see like that. So usually, like Shotos, go for some things like that, right? So let's say, for instance, like I said, in terms of like, if they go for a reversal DP, you can easily just stuff it. You can just stuff it. Like, you can go for how I go for things. I go for like a fake. I go for like a fake setup. So for me, I like to go for a fake out. So it's like you can just do this pretty early. Okay. Alright. Things like that. Now, mind you, right? To do a 360, you don't need the whole thing to do it. You can literally just do a 270 motion. So, let's do this. For example, I'm just going to show you the stick, right? You don't really have to do it a full 360. So you can just do a 270. So, you can just end it up like so. Actually, I need more lighting. Hold on a moment. Alright, I'm back. So, like I said, you do just a 270. So, Just watch. You just do like, you just end it up like so, like up forward or up. Like if you see on the left side where you see how my inputs are. Not really doing a whole 360. Now, if you want to try a 360, then you can just do like, you can just do the whole thing. That time I'm just doing the whole thing there. So you have that to really go off of. And then also you got this grab, pretty much the bear grab. Pretty much the same rule applies with this one. You're outside of it, you just get running bear grab. You just do things like, you can just do that. Alright, so we sort of, you know, we have that established. Alright, let's just put this camera back up there. I like this, you know, I like this real time. I like this real time guide that I'm doing right now. It ain't perfect, but it's pretty real in terms of what I'm doing for you guys. I'm not good, just to let you know, I'm not good at teaching. So if you do have questions in the chat, you can always let me know. And you can always just let me know. And if you have any questions, but I'm gonna just continue on so far, right? So let's just go over in terms of how I view matchups, right? So let's start with the impossible matchup first, right? This one, right? Okay. Now you may be wondering, why is it impossible, right? Okay, so I'll tell you exactly why, right? This character can stop pretty much whatever jump-ins that he has. You got stand light, crouch medium, stand medium, kind of stops. And then you got hands. Hands is kind of dumb. You got walking sweep. You got that sweep, but that sweep's no good. This sweep's real good. And you got there you go. You got the butt slams, and obviously the bane of his existence. You got headbutt, right? So you may be wondering, how exactly do you even approach this matchup to begin with, right? A lot of folks would say counter pick or anything like that. I only did it once, and I hated myself to do that, but I've played a lot of great Hondas, especially my boy X64. So I'll tell you exactly what I end up doing, right? So let's say, for instance, you know, he does like crouch light, right? So you want to assume, right, in this position, he's always down backing, right? So in this position, you know, stand medium kick is really good, because not only when you in this game, pretty much when you crouch in general, his you know, crouching hurt box is expanding, so you can still get stuff, but you gotta learn how to time this button really well, right? And then you get the knockdown. The thing with Honda's wake up is his you know, when he rises, his rising timing is completely different than most of the cast. So his is like really super delayed. So it's like you have to really do a safe jump really late. So you got like, let's say for instance you want to get started, right? That's actually too late. You want to be there like right there. So instead of just like getting there when you get hit, because you're gonna eat a headbutt or a butt slam pretty much. So you most likely want to do this, like get it started, and then you just want to just keep going at it, right? Like you want to do like right there, and then you just keep at it. Now, here's a trick that I want to show you guys, right? So, shout outs to Gief for Holes, aka Beans from Mexico. This is his setup, but this setup is very viable. So, say for instance, Honda has you cornered, you could just do the corner setup, which is, you see now with this, you see how Honda bounces weird in the corner? You literally want to have him right there. You want to just hop back and forth. Because that's a literal trap setup right there. So when you have him trapped, you can't really escape. I mean, his escape options are, you know, medium butt slam because of the invincibility. But if you see that, you can easily just go to the other side and just sweep that, and then just start all over. Like basically like so, right? Now the other thing you must be wondering, hey, how do you deal with hands, right? So your only option with hands, right, is that it's just sweep. But you have to really you gotta really like kind of see it coming. Like heavy hands, you can sweep, right? And then that's medium, right? Oh shit. So you got medium hands. It's also sweep too. Literally same rules applies with sweep. Outside of that, your best button in this matchup, you got stand, medium, kick, and then if you want to catch him walk back, you can do jab to kind of proximity block them in place, and then just go for the sweep. And then you want to just like kind of bait him to think that you're going to SPD, but you can just do that. Or how you want to mix it. So say like this. Let's put him mid screen, right? You're walking him down. You get the first sweep. But if you're too close here, if you're too close right there, you're eating an Ochio. Hey, Shin Rockman, what's up, dude? So if you do it right here, that's you're asking for an Ochio. You do it right here, that's still Ochio range, right? How you want to like do stand roundhouse? I mean, not stand roundhouse, stand light kick is you want to space that sucker as far as possible, right? And then you want to micro walk SPD, right? Right in his face, right? Then what you can do to kind of negate the Ochio, meaty crouch jab. Because most Hondas is gonna go for that, which means they're not going to block, right? Even if it's stored, they're not blocking. Or if they know for a fact that if Ochio's not going to work, they're going to try to go for reversal headbutt. So reversal headbutt is another thing. I mean, pretty much you just want to block that, right? So now you makes me wondering, you know, how you deal with headbutt, right? So there's no really true way of dealing headbutt. Ah, shit, that's not what I want to do. There's no really true way to really deal with headbutt. I mean, you can. Oh, well, that deleted it. So there's no, like I said, there's no real true way of really dealing with headbutt. It's just kind of hard to deal with, right? But you gotta do like a really late lariat to just really get it, to get it. Now, you could practice this in training mode because if you do it too early, you gotta have distance. You gotta have enough distance to do it. Like right there. Like right here is pretty good. But sometimes it's really hard because you gotta condition your hands to make sure you get the lariat. Just to get the lariat in time. That's bad. So you gotta really condition your hands to do it. Even me, I can't really do it on succession like that. But kick lariat works pretty well in this, right? Other than that, you can do high, jump medium, light, jump light kick to get started If you do it too late, you're eating headbutt. If you do it early enough, then you're fine. Because, like I said, Honda kind of stands like a tall character, but he's kind of crouching. And then you got like setups. Sometimes you got like, setups to kind of get in. So like, say like this, meaty green hand. Then you should be okay. Then if you get a cross up, right? And you can get that. Or you can just be fancy. Just get a 6 hit. Or things like that. But that's Honda, right? That's, like I said, one of the hardest matchup in the game for you. So things like that you gotta really pay attention to. So let's go ahead and change characters, right? Because I'm also, in terms of this guide, I'm giving you all the answers in terms of what you should be doing, right? So let's go with another matchup, right? Let's say, nope, not that. All right, let's say you're playing a Fei Long, right? But this is also a pretty hard matchup, right? So Fei Long, pretty hard. Got his Rekkas. You got the chicken wing. You got that. Then crouch medium. This real good button for him, right, in this matchup. Then like I said, chicken wing. That's kind of hard to really deal with. So, and then obviously you have his DP. Can't really DP with him that right. But you know what I mean with that. So your best tools in this matchup, I'll show you. Your best tools in your matchup, sweep. They're gonna. I'm gonna tell you right now. Majority of Fei Longs will DP on wake up, right? They will DP on wake up. The other 15%, right? They will wake up chicken wing. What's up, Mega? I was just playing some ST after a while with my sons. Can't beat this game. Yeah, this game is kind of. This can't. Not like Scrubby 6. Yeah, this game kind of puts you on max tilt. That's the funny thing about it. It really does. But I tell you, but this game, it really requires you to like. It really requires you to really put. You gotta put time in. That's the crazy thing about it. You gotta really put the time in. I mean, it's like it's one of those. This game is like one of those games that you really gotta put the effort in to show for it to show. Like it took me probably like, damn, maybe like 13 years to really get good. I was in college when this came out, so I was around 16. Yeah, well, this game was in. I feel you, man. I do. So you got stand medium kick real good. A lot of times Fei Longs is gonna walk crouch fierce a lot. That button is really good against Gief. So pretty much like what you want to do, you have two options, right? So let's put him all the way here, right? What you want to do is you want to learn to whiff punish, or you want to learn to whiff punish, right? You want to whiff punish this button. Pretty give you much a good, or you want to catch him walk forward, or you can trade. Even though it pushes you back, right? If you see the life difference is the trade is going to be in your favor. That's how normally it is. The trade is going to be always in your favor. Now, the distance isn't going to be in your favor, but sometimes you want to play the matchup real smart and just not have you don't want to like say you want to be aggro to go in. So sometimes, dealing with that is pretty much a blessing. Now you must be wondering, hey, your game revolves around SPDs and all that stuff. It really doesn't. Sometimes, even though it does, footsies with Gief is very vital because if you don't have footsies with Gief, then you can't play this character. Like, there's no way. So you got stand medium, you got the crouching, and obviously the same rule applies with Shotos in terms of bait DP. Then you got the SPD, right? Now you must be wondering, okay, what about how the hell you deal with chicken wing? All right, I'll explain to you this one because I was told about this as well, so I've learned some stuff too. But you can always do like wait a minute. Okay, that's what I gotta do. Alright, let's do that. So alright, so we count that right there, right? So you must be wondering, how do you deal with, stand chicken? No, come on, you stupid thing. It's supposed to be stand roundhouse. Bro, I see this video of a Japanese Gief using Gief. He walked 720 in one motion and did it with like a 720 super. You have any idea it's done? I tried. It's so hard to pull off. Yeah, that was the Lord and Savior of TM. You know, that's TMF. But before I get to that, I'll tell you. So, you know, stop chicken wing. You know, is basically stand roundhouse does. Stand roundhouse does pretty good, even though it trades. But usually it beats it clean. But yes, stand roundhouse does beat chicken wing, and the trade is in your favor with that as well. See right there, the trade is right there. So, and then the other thing is, you know, dealing with record pressure. Ah, shit. You're dealing with record pressure, right? So, let's go ahead. Let's go back. If you see that happens, if he ends up that close with Rekka, that's a free SPD, right? So let's go ahead over again with that. So that's unsafe. You have to really space it out in order for it to not be safe. I mean, in order for it to be safe. But if he's doing it like, you know, straight up raw like that, you know what I'm saying? If he's doing it straight up raw like that, yeah, sometimes I hate this thing. If he does it straight like that, you know, that's a free SPD. Or it's a free sweep. And it sets you, and you get a setup. So you got pretty much like that. Or, you know, another way to really deal with it is lariat. That's another way to deal with it. You got lariat there. So you got your, and then, you know, same thing applies. You got the safe jumps as well, right? Same thing, because you can basically just loop them, but usually the safe jumps usually would win against a reversal attack, especially stand light. But stand light in this matchup is pretty useless. So you basically have to just do other means, like, you know, crouch jab, or if he does a DP, then you can do stand light kick into SPD as well. Then you got, you know, you got your combos really. Or you can just do a front combo like. Got like things like that, right? So like. No, that's not it. So it's like. There you go. You got like that, right? So that's Fei Long, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through the characters, give you a basic overview, and then we're gonna go ahead and basically do all the tricks of the trade and everything. So, all right, let's do another one. Like, let's say Ryu, right? All right, this matchup is very straightforward, right? I feel this matchup is pretty even. Slightly in Gief's favor a little bit. because this button, Ryu don't really have a clear. He doesn't really have a clear answer for that because stand medium kick is really good. You can't really walk forward. Like he'll try to do like his roll forward or so. Sup, Ant? How's it going? I'm chilling. I'm doing a tutorial. So you got that beats it out. So you got like stuff like that, and obviously. Obviously, you got the fireballs, right? Yeah, his only defense is to stand. It is to stand DP. It is to DP it. So, obviously, you got Lariat, but sometimes, gotta practice your lariat inputs because sometimes you miss the lariat, you end up getting this, 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 all that, and you swear to yourself, you're literally just doing the 3 buttons. So sometimes the best way to just practice your lariat inputs, do it 10 times in succession. So let's just give an example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, that was just 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gotta do it like 10 times. Because the way how this is set up, this is kind of shitty, to be honest with you. But, I mean, it's his only way to really doing it. That's the thing. So, you got the fireballs, debate DP, same rule apply, really. Or, you got the sweep. Pretty much you go in for a setup. Then you just keep at it. Usually, if you're cornered by Ryu, right? Say for instance, if they wanna, they wanna do things like that, right? First of all, there's nothing wrong with blocking. You get this lariat in place, but sometimes your lariat will get hit by sweep, so you're better off just like kind of just paying attention to when they want to do a fireball and then just lariat, or you can just do another way. You can just do a clean jumping as well. You can do things like that. Like it really could be clean jumping. Hey, Dictator, how you doing? I'm just giving a long lesson in regards of how I play Gief, and if folks want to adopt my style, I have no problem doing so. I think I'm flattered, that's for sure. Very flattered. Alright. Some Gief lessons. Yeah, I'm giving a full tutorial. Alright, so that's Ryu, right? Let's say for instance, let's see. What's another hard matchup, right? What's another hard matchup? I think Guile is another hard matchup as well. We'll get to that. Let's do old Got, because everybody wondering how folks deal with how folks deal with old got Guile Honda. I did Honda earlier. I was doing Honda earlier. So I'm sorry you missed it. So this is the bane of everybody's existence. Right? You got that. That is everybody's bane of existence, right? You got a lariat. But sometimes, like, you gotta make sure your lariat's on point. So, how I usually practice, you just gotta be like, sometimes you get green hand as well, and then you can just lariat as well. Now, one thing's for sure, if you're up close, you get a good SPD out of it. Now, one thing for sure, you could hop over it as well. So if you just saw that, you could literally hop over the tiger shot, but you have to be like within this specific distance, right? So let's say this is like two character lengths away. So let's try it again. Nope, too early. There you go, like right there. Yo, what's good, little homie? Hey, what's going on, Demigodo? I'm just giving my my full overview of how I look at the matchups and everything like that. So, in this specific match, you want to look out for tiger shots. Another thing is you want to look out for this button. You want to look out for this button. This button, that button, because this button is those buttons are like way too good, right? So how you want to approach this matchup is very simple, right? What you want to do as Gief is, in neutral, this button, stand medium kick, is really good, right? Because it does whiff punish his his crouching medium kick. But if it's like his stand fierce, right? What I do is I usually do like this. I like to micro step in, because each whiff he has to kind of think about what he has to do. So normally I know for a fact he's gonna end up jumping in. If he ends up jumping in, I'm gonna anti-air lariat. So with stand fierce, each of them you just kind of count. 1, 2, 3. Well, I count it like, for me, I count in Mississippi. So like 1. See, like right there. So I came from here, right? I came from like right here. I'm literally right in his face, like SPD range, right? You can just do that. Now, another thing you'd be wondering is how do you deal with this? Tiger uppercut, right? No, that's not what I want to do. So let's do this. Let's just spam the fuck out of it, right? So let's do that, right? So sweep it, right? Or you could grab, and this is the other thing. You could sweep it because it's a pretty easier punish, or you could go for the grab, right? Or you could just whiff, set you up. And then you can just go for a cross-up combo, right? So it's like, you get the knockdown, but you gotta be on point with it, or else he's gonna do it again and you're gonna get hit. So if you end up whiffing, you have that. You got that to deal with. He has to. Old God has to guess since he can't soften throws. He has to guess after. He has to guess after this, and then you can just keep going with it, right? And then you get the cross up, and he's gonna, more than likely, he's gonna force his way by mashing the DP, and if he end up mashing the DP, right? You can just keep doing the exact same thing over and over, like God has to guess. But if you want to just make sure he's like you get the stun. But you can just end up in front also, which is kind of it's kind of busted as well. You can just end up in front as well, because he has to guess which side you're gonna be on. So if you're gonna be from the front, like so, or you take the extra step and then go right here, right? But usually, the way how you can tell if you're going to be in front is by the green hand you use. So like this, I'm going to use light. Well, it's like light sometimes kind of puts you like, you still get the cross up. You still get the cross up out of that. But sometimes you want to just like kind of splash early. Now, if you end up splashing late, if you splash early, you're in front. That's the other reason. If you splash late, that's a cross up. So that time I splashed early, and I'm literally in front of him. So you have that, and then and then I'm gonna show you another thing that, you know, it's pretty dirty as well. You can also use crouch and light and lariat after the cross up to keep him close, can't you? Yeah, you can. You can do that. So let's say for instance, right? He gets knocked down. Okay, well that's I gotta read. Oh, you did it instantly. So let's say for instance, right? You want to do some scumbaggish tech, right? So this tech normally doesn't really get put out there, but I mean I've released it before. No, come on. It's supposed to be like you're supposed to be able to grab in the air. So what I want to do is what you want to do is like something like that. So this is the true 50-50 setup right here, right? No. So basically what happens is, right? No. 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 What happens is he has to get after that knockdown. The same situation like this. In that situation, he has to completely guess in terms of what's gonna happen. Am I gonna cross up? Am I gonna be in front of him? He literally has to. Let's go over here. 50-50 no uppercut. Like literally, he has to guess in that situation. And that time I just went in front. So the old got Gief matchup is not as bad as everybody thought it to be. It's just that you have to like really play it to a T. So like if he's full screen, he's gonna tiger shot you. So you have to just do your lariats. If you're right here, you have to be wary of these two buttons, right? You have to be wary of this, and also, you know, that shit. You know, it's tiger knee, because a lot of them is gonna be like this, because they're not gonna. Some of them not gonna tiger in this position here unless they get the confirm, right? If they get the confirm like that, right? So they're just gonna be like, they're just gonna guess in terms of tiger knee. It don't hurt being in this range right here. It don't hurt to put this button out there, but sometimes, well, not sometimes, 95% of the times, your best option, just block. Block and just kind of pay attention in terms of how he goes about his buttons, right? A typical got. Will you update this VOD to YouTube? This is gold. Yeah, I'm gonna upload it to there. A typical got is gonna be like, you know, they're gonna look right here. You know, you got the tiger knee, and then, you know, if you see the anti-air, they're just gonna, like, you know, obviously DP you. But in neutral, you could just shut that down by just literally just being patient, and then just like kind of micro step in, you know, just kind of wait it out. If you get sweep back, you know, you're gonna get tiger, block it, and then, you know, just lariat in. And then you could get a good clean jump in. So say for instance, right? So say for instance, right? You did a tiger shot right there, right? That's a pretty clean jump in from right here. So say it's like right here. But sometimes, you know, it's a pretty good jump in right there, right? So say like right here. It's a pretty good SPD right there. Good damage amount, right? I mean, it puts you full screen, but you have life lead. You don't have to worry too much as long as you know, dodge the sea of tigers. That's how I call it, right? Dodging the sea of tigers, and then you should be okay. But this matchup is not. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's not hard, but as long as you kind of remain calm and just kind of look upon what your opponent's doing, then, you know, it becomes a whole lot easier. I mean, I've faced a lot of, like, you know, really, really good gots, like really tough Sagat. I mean, I will personally say I have yet to beat Ultra Combo, because he's hands down the best Sagat in the U.S. I have yet to beat that dude, but I have taken games off of him. But yeah, that dude's pretty tough as shit. But it's a hard matchup. But the more you play it, the more you understand. The more you understand, the more easier it becomes. So it's all about persevering in this match. That's the thing with this character. All right, let's see. Someone said Guile, right? Okay, so let's do Guile. Okay, so this matchup, it's another tongue twister of a matchup, right? Hold on a sec. Let me just do this. This matchup is another tongue twister of a matchup, right? So the buttons I heard that Gief has a magic throw in this game. Well, not in this game. He has it in. Actually, no, he does have it in this game. Just not in this version. So the only version that he has the magic throw is the world version of Super Turbo. The other versions that got completely patched out. Alright, so with Guile, right? Guile's main tools is that, crouch fierce, this button, crouch medium kick, which is a really blessing, crouch light, then it's a sweep right there, right? Obviously, flash kick, sonic boom, Sobot, the step kick, right? So you got all those buttons, right? So against him, let's see something. Can I put him as CPU? No. Can't put him as CPU. So against him, right, you kind of want to have to like approach this matchup really, really cautiously. I feel like when rounds start, like right here, Guiles will boom off the back, right? So your best bet, just block, right? Kind of have to just bulldog your way in, right? So each time you kind of block a boom. So each time you block a boom, it does pushes you back. No, come on. So each time, like I said, round start, kind of pushes you back anyway. But sometimes it's not the end of the world to just kind of block, because what you want to do is you want to play the patient game in this matchup, because you want to just make sure once you get a good clean jump in, say for instance like so, you want to get a really good jump in, and then you want to just continue on your onslaught, right? People say if you pick old Gief in the ST, magic throw still works. It doesn't work. Trust me on this. Not in the Japan or USA version of ST. It works in the world version of ST, not Japan or US. But yeah. So you want to like your main goal in this matchup is clean jump-ins and, you know, some good buttoning, right? So a lot of times, Guiles tend to just spam this button a lot, right? Because this is one of his best normals in the game. Besides crouch fierce and, you know, stand medium, this is one of his best normals, right? So Gief, in terms of dealing with that, his best bet, you can just whiff punish it. But the thing is, you can't whiff punish it from max distance. Kind of like have to, like, you know, kind of trade for it right there. But you can get it on startup or whiff punish it as well. But you can't do it max distance. You gotta be up a little bit close. So you like see like right here? Good spot right there. But the thing is, the problem is with this, you can't do it from back here. So you gotta kinda have to be up a little bit. And then, but another thing is, if they spam it, you wanna assume that not all the time they have charge for flash kick, because if they're waking this up and they're doing it more than once, that's a free jump in of itself, right? And then basically when that's a free jump in and then he's in the corner, you want to make sure But you gotta make sure with the safe jumps as well. Then, you know, have them press down, right? Make sure you have them press down, and then you'll be okay. Now, the other bane of existence is sometimes a lot of guiles will tend to do that. Like, they do a slow boom. You got that, right? See, if you see a slow boom, bro, right? You see that? See that right there? You don't want to lariat that. You're better off just blocking and then just go for the trade afterwards. And then just go for the early sweep afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Because if you end up lariating it, not like that, but that shouldn't have worked. But things like that, that man's just gonna crawl. He's gonna crawl right under there, and he's gonna hit you with the 2-piece, and then he's gonna do another one to just get the stun, and then basically, you know, if that man ends up getting the stun, right? You're gonna eat a 3-piece. Like literally, you're just gonna eat a 3-piece just because you wanted to lariat the boom. Sometimes, like I said, you're better off just blocking it and just going for the sweep, or just block it in total and just kind of watch him, you know, watch him with his buttons. So another thing to deal with also, right? This shit. Right? There's that. So you got to deal with that shit. So let me show you how good this button is. That button is mad. That button is mad good for no kind of reason, right? So what you want to do is you could go for a stand medium punch trade, right? Even though it kind of pushes you out, but it kind of pushes him in the corner too. And the trade is still in your favor. Not by much, but it's still pretty doable. Right? You got that. Then, you know, a lot of guiles will do after boom, like a lot of step kick, right? So if you see some step kicks in your future, right? You can do like, I'll show you. You can do like, all right, let's put him back in mid screen, right? You can do a lot of you can do stand jab. Stand jab kind of stops it. Let's put him. Stand jab stops it. Or if you see the step kick, you can straight sweep. Or you can just whiff punish it. You can't lariat. You can lariat on the startup of it, or pretty much on whiff. So like, say like right here. Alright, let's go on this side. Hold up. So like, You can do like this too. You can kick Larry at the start up of it. You can do that if you want to, but personally, I advise just kind of like stand jab, or if you see the step kick, you can just jump. You can jump in because Guile's walking forward, so he has no charge. So should be okay. And then the other thing is this button. This button is pretty good as well, especially in terms of his jump-ins. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, it's pretty good right there. So what you want to do is determine, you see like right there, like you want to be like outside this range. So if you end up, if he throws a boom and he ends up like kind of crouch fierce, he can jump in that range. So you want to like kind of be like right here. So this is like, say like, this is like, let's see, 1, 2, like three character lengths, really. So it says from like right here to like steps, like 1, 2, 3. Yeah, about 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, right there. 3 steps in, and then that should be a free punish or a sweep, because that has a lot of recovery anyway. So pretty much how you play the matchup. I mean, the matchup is still hard anyway, because Guile still has a lot of pretty much good buttons, but the minute that you have him here, right, he's gonna like fish for this or this. A lot of guys do this. A lot of guys do this weird. I mean, it's not a weird combination of buttons, but they like to do light, medium, or light, medium as well. Like, they like to do that because you go with a quick button and then another one just to kind of just get Gief off of you. But in terms of that, especially if you're like up close, your best bet is just block it. And that's from Champion Edition, exactly. Your best bet is just block it. Block it, and then just kind of just pay attention, and just pay attention, because they're not always going to jump out in the corner. They rather just stay in it sometimes. But if they do one wrong boom, that's a really good opportunity to just jump in. Or you could go for the trade sweep and then go for a setup from there. And then that should be checkmate pretty much afterwards. Alright, I did Ken, Ryu, Honda, Old Got, Fei Long, Guile, right? Okay, let's do Cammy, because this is another... Oh, you want Sim? Alright. Okay, this is another one. This is another interesting matchup, right? So, this matchup really determines off a round start, right? Round start is the key for both of these characters, right? If Gief gets the round start, so if Gief gets the round start by doing a clean jump in, corner carry, and that's it. That's game over. That's legit game over. Right after that, right? So let's start that over. Now, if Sim if Sim gets the round start, right? If Sim ends up getting the round start, right? Getting round start like this, got the sweep, got the flame, and then that's it right there, right? And then basically, you're basically trapped in an eternity until you figure out like the Dawson slips up, because basically you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do slide. He's not gonna go to throw you, right? He's not gonna throw you. He's not gonna risk that at all. He's just gonna play this buttons, just keep you out, stand roundhouse. You know, the sniper back, right? You gotta do that. There's that. You know, that jump light doesn't really have much to do with, but if Sim takes control of that round start, then you literally have a 10%. You literally have a 10 to 15% chance of winning the matchup. Because if the Sim plays it perfectly, you're not winning the matchup. But if he messes up, then it kind of changes. So, ways to combat these normals, right? So, for me, you got... So, let's start with stand roundhouse for Sim, right? You got two options with this button, right? You got two options. You got crouch fierce, and that pushes him way back. Or you got lariat as well. The math don't lie. Yeah, it doesn't. You got lariat as well. Lariat pretty much beats it clean. Sometimes. But yeah, lariat really beats that clean, right? So that's stand roundhouse. Then you have stand medium kick, right? That button's quicker, right? You got that button, right? Lariat beats it. But crouch fierce doesn't. So in this position, you have to lariat it, and then green hand in to just get yourself a good position, right? So you got that button, and then their main buttons are, you got those two buttons. This is the other main button, right? Forward fierce, right? Forward fierce right there. So your best way to deal with this button, sweep it, right? You got a good sweep. Or lariat. Lariat doesn't do much in this one. You can't, because it's below it's somewhat below, but yeah, lariat kind of loses towards that. So another one you could do, right? Another one you could. I don't want you to throw me. Another one you could do. You could hop, but you could just get a good clean jump in as well, because that forward fierce has a lot of recovery. So you could just get, you know, a good clean jump in off of that as well. So you have either sweep or you get a good clean jump in, because if they do it from max distance, because they have to kind of walk forward to do so, right? So if you get a good max distance out of it, you know, you get it with the two heavy piece, the two heavy, the two heavy piece right there, and then you follow it up with. But if they do it like, let's say, like I said, they do it max distance, right? If they do it like max distance, a lot of times what I would opt for is a lot of times I like to opt for just going for the diet effect, what the diet effect is this is vodka, shout out to vodka. This is like the early jump roundhouse, but it kind of shrinks your land, it shrinks your hurt box when you land. So you just do like something like here, and then you just kind of just jump in. So you're just like, and it just kind of helps you just get in. Covers so much space. Literally covers so much space right there. So in this matchup, this diet effect is gonna be your key to really getting in. So it's like just getting in. Just kind of create some stuff, right? So like that, and then it's literally game over from right there. So that's how normally you would win in this matchup, because that's pretty much the only condition. Well, it's not the only condition, right? So let's say, for instance, right, Sim has you cornered right here, right? So if Sim has you cornered, because he has godlike buttons like this, like back jab, literally no hitbox, but it hits from the top, right? So if Sim has you like right here, so let's say, for instance, he does one bad fireball, right? If he does one bad fireball, right, and then this is also game over, because Sim has no reversal options, and every time when you spin in the corner, Gief is guaranteed a setup. He's literally guaranteed a setup in this position. So he's basically, Sim is basically trapped. If he's in the corner here, you got two options of keeping him there. You got jump light. This stand light kick. If you knock him down, this is a no-no, because Sims will reverse a throw. So this is a no-no. So you got jump light or far stand jab from like right here. And far stand jab is really good because it keeps him locked, and not only that, it forces a restand. So let's say, for instance, right? On wake up, forces a restand. Literally forces a restand. But if he's killed crouching, he has to hold that. That's the thing. Sim is trapped, like guaranteed trapped. And then obviously, you got the yoga flame, got the yoga fire, right? You can just green hand in, but you're not gonna get all the way in because he's gonna button you. But that's okay. In this match, you wanna worry more about positioning than damage, because here you're gonna lose. Not lose, but it's like you want to get a good, because you want to get a good position here. So like right here, you should be in. Oh yeah, exactly. Once you're in, it's over. So it's like, so like right here, and then that's a good green hand in. But yeah, you go for green hand and you go for the suplex. This is like legit an instant cat. I want to say like I said, this is like more of an instant counter carry. So you get like a good jump in. Watch, say like this. Round start, he does. Let's say for instance, round start, Sim does. He does. No, not like that. Round start, this man's gonna do like, Yoga Blast. You gotta time the jump in. Because if you're too far, it trades. So like, you gotta get a really good jump vantage. So let's say like right there. So if you do like this, you can just run and bear grab him in. Run and bear grab is really good in this matchup too, because they're gonna like, it's fast, it's pretty unpredictable, and no one uses this. Other folks kind of find it scrubby. I find it to be a very useful tool because, like I said, you can get a pretty good positioning with running bear grab. Like 2 running bear grabs pretty much puts him in the corner, and then it's pretty much like game over from here. And then these stand jabs has to be tight. Once you see that body gets up, that fist has to be out there. Yeah, you gotta really just. Gotta put it out there, because if you do it too late or do too early, you're gonna get reversal thrown, because Sim is gonna pretty much opt to try to hold forward to try to get this throw, right? So you're trying to prevent that from happening, because if you get the throw, that resets the whole neutral and he's out of there. And then the other thing you gotta deal with is like freaking teleport, right? Because teleport is or this shit. If you see that, block it and just punish it, because sometimes Sim does that too high. That's a free punish. That's high too. That's also a free punish. That you can't really punish that because that's really outside your range. And then they're gonna do like that. And then, you're going to get dizzy. A lot of times, Sims tend to go for the 3 classic buttons. 1, 2, 1, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like 1, like, hold on, like, for example, this is their classic flowchart button, right? The classic flowchart button is like this. Crouch medium, sweep, crouch fierce, forward fear, forward, stand roundhouse, stand medium kick, right? And then, forward medium punch. So all those, as long as you kind of look at those buttons, right? They're easy to just really jump in on, right? Because if their main tools to stop jump-ins is this back, this is back, back jab. This is down, this is crouching feet, crouching medium punch. And that's fierce. Then there's, crouching back fierce, the command roundhouse. Right? And then there's medium. Or they're going to try to slide in from the, they're going to try to slide in your jump in. But slide does not work. Slide does not work on Gief. It really doesn't. Because if they try to, let's say, for example, right? If they try to slide in, you jump in, right? Like if you try to slide in your DMs or something like that. That's a free punish. Or free punish SPD, right? Or you want to be cheeky, right? If you want to be a little bit cheeky, it's an easy 4-piece right there. So he can't slide in on Gief. Not at all. But yeah. So what we know about this matchup is, like I told you, it's really round start dependent. If you get the, like I said, if you get the round start, opt for the, bear graph suplex. Then early, you can do like early stand light kick, SPD in there, and then just basically rinse and repeat afterwards. So that's how you normally deal with this matchup, right? And also, like I said, if you see the buttons, do a dive effect, which is early jump roundhouse. Early jump roundhouse, SPD in, or early jump roundhouse, running bear grab, early jump roundhouse sweep, early jump roundhouse, things like that. You don't want to be too predictable with the dive effect. But the dive effect is like, it's his main tool to get in. It shrinks his hurt box when he lands. And then you get a pretty good SPD after that. So that's how you deal with Sim. In my eyes. I mean, every other Gief player has their methods, or they just kind of counterpick, but for me, I just go through the matchup and I just do what I can with this guy. So, alright. We covered Sim, right? What's another character folks want to see, wants to know about? Let me get a drink. One sec. Pretty good matchup. Yeah, it's a pretty good matchup. Alright. Let's see. What's another matchup to go over, right? Oh yeah, Blanca. So, what am I doing? Hydration versus Gief. Claws? Alright, we'll go over Claw after this matchup. Alright, so another 7-3 matchup, right? Blanca has all the tools to stop this guy in. Right? He can stop Gief literally with this button, this button, this button, that button, that button, crouch fierce, and then obviously the occasional Blanca ball, and rubber, and there's a sweep. And then, the river run right there, right? You got all those buttons, right? Now, I remember once upon a time when I played Fromo a lot. He's the best block in the US. his footsies is on point. In terms of this matchup, because he has the most experience in this matchup because he plays a lot of Cigar Bob, which I feel Cigar Bob is basically, you know, he's like one of those goated Giefs that folks should totally look into. I mean, he's definitely like the man in terms of stuff. Not sure where he is, but you know, he's good to pretty much ask questions and everything like that. But how I deal with this matchup personally is I have to play in terms of how this matchup is. So a good Blanca would not really try to go in. In fact, it'll just like look out for these jump-ins, right? You know, it'll just hop back or just go like he'll try to gimmick his way, kind of gimmick his way in. Try to just like, you know, try to go for the bite. They usually like to do a lot of, you know, medium ball into bite a lot. Just kind of gets you off guard. So for me, what I end up doing, obviously, first things first, let's just establish one thing. Right? Let's just establish one thing. One thing for certain, you know, Lariat beats Blanca Ball clean. No questions asked. Lariat beats Blanca Ball clean. So it kind of depends, because if you throw it out too late, and that's just punch I'm using. Kick Lariat beats it clean. Kick Lariat beats it clean. So this is a pretty good tool, but you don't want to go too close, because if you go right here, that's a free sweep. So you want to just like kind of be outside of the sweep, because a lot of times if Blanca sees that, that's a sweep right there, or the river run as well, right? And then a lot of times Blancas would go for the trip guard, river run right here, right? So in that position, what you want to do is, right, let's say if you see that, you want to go for a really delayed jump, because that kind of stops him. Or you could just do like a regular 3-piece combo, just to get started. Or you could do like this, not like that, but you can do something like this, right? You can do neutral jump roundhouse beats it, because not only they're crouching on wake up, that's the hitbox that they have to kind of deal with. But max pretty much on block, you can't punish it. You're gonna have to kind of hold that. Another button that's really good, right? But it's another button that's really good, but it's pretty risky. It's Crouch Fierce. But Crouch Fierce, you kind of have to put that as a read. If you put it as a guess, then you're gonna get, you know, you're gonna get clipped like that. But you have to do it as a guess, or you pretty much physically see it. You gotta like literally, you gotta physically see that's coming towards you. So if you don't physically see it, just kind of just like you can't opt for sweep either, because sometimes sweep is pretty bad. So you can decide to take the block, right? Or if you see it coming, just go for clean jumping. Or another way, just, you know, go for that. Or you want to be like that, you can just hop over it as well too. But you got to be ready, like so. You just have to be. You literally have to be ready. Or you can just be like this, a max punish. A max punish would be if you just opt like this, right? Hop 720. That's a max punish idea, if you have the meter to do that. But if you don't have the meter, you can do that. You know, you can do like the regular 3-piece. But you gotta be on point when you're jumping. You can do SPD, but you gotta be on point, like I said. So like 1, 2, 3, and then, you know, instant corner carry with that. And then obviously everybody be like, you know, everybody saw with the whole, you know, smug video and stuff, like, how you basically, you can literally throw, you know, Wonka Super, right? You can literally throw it. So see, like right here, you can throw it, because since he's grounded and he's holding the charge towards it, you can literally just throw. Or you can do regular throw. You can literally do that. You can do that, or be even more daring. You can even do that too. So let's say, for instance, the Blanca don't hold it, right? If the Blanca don't hold it, and he just lets it rip, right? So if he ends up just doing it and then he's on top of you, just SPD. You can just SPD, or you can just run and bear grab. But if he just lets it rip, especially from like right here, you can't regular throw it, because he's just letting it go instead of just holding it in. If he held it, then you can regular throw. But that doesn't give you enough time to just do that. Yeah, you kind of just have to, like, you know, accept that, and then just, you know, kind of just have to accept it, and then just SPD. Feel for, like, especially from right here. If you know for a fact that you can SPD, you want to SPD it, you have the ability to just do that. You should be having the ability to do it right here, without no issues, none whatsoever. Like, you should have no issue just doing it whatsoever. No issues right there and then, because they're gonna have to accept that shit. So that's pretty self-explanatory for the Blanca matchup. Not really. I think personally, then you have to deal like this. You gotta deal with this. you know, jump light and all that stuff. Best way to deal with that is just lariat, or if they try to jump in on you, headbutt. But if they jump in, also you want to. There's also sack throwing as well. So if they jump in too early, on you, you can get a reversal SPD. Because if they did it too high, usually. So if they do it too high, you can get a reversal SPD. Or another way you can do it is you can literally walk under. Because this is like the street. This is like the funny thing is with that one. This is like the Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 6 tech. So you can just literally walk under and then just SPD from there as well. SPD when they're on their landing frames. So you can do that also. Alright, so in this, going over this, like I said, you can pretty much anti-air pretty much any of your jumping, right? You can anti-air pretty much any of your jumping, pretty much. What you want to do, you want to play footsies. In this matchup, you know, obviously, pretty much, in terms of a lot of his matchups, stand medium kick is really good, right? Another good button also is crouch jab, because this also stops. This is a good anti-air button too. This is a pretty good anti-air button as well. Like, this button is pretty goated. It's very quick, and it pretty much almost stopped like cross-ups. So stand jab is pretty goated as well. So, and then a lot of times, if you see like Blanca going for the river run, another good option too to deal with it, you know, rapid crouch light. It's pretty good. It's pretty good against that. But if you do it too much, then they're gonna crouch fierce. And a good way to whiff punish crouch fierce, right? See, like this, that button, right? Another way to get whiff punish crouch fierce is sweep. But if you sweep whiffs, then you're gonna get clipped. Or you can do crouch fierce as well on your own. And then you can just get it on the startup. And then, you know, kind of advance in. And then you should be okay. Stand light kick is really good. Like, you could do this to kind of beat the reversal ball. Because sometimes they'll go for the reversal ball, but if they end up reversal balling you in the corner here, then that's GG's, because on hit, Blanca is still unsafe anyway. Unless he's like mid-screen, right, and he somehow hits you, then he's safe. But if he's like right here, he got nowhere to go. So that's like a free sweep, Or let's say, for example, say like right there, he got nowhere to go, right? So let's say, for instance, that man hits me. That man's getting scooped. That man's getting scooped regardless. Well, like, where is he gonna go? They got nowhere to go. He has nowhere to go besides there. Alright. That's enough of Blanca. Alright, so you want to see about Claw, right? Okay. So, roughly, another thing with this matchup. This matchup is weak. This matchup is interesting. I feel like Gief can combat this matchup pretty well, right? But this matchup is very similar to the Blanca matchup, where Claw pretty much has all the buttons. He has all the tools. He has all the jump arcs, right? He has the proper jump arcs as well. His jump arc is pretty, pretty quick. And then, you got to deal with that. And then that's the jump light. Then you got to deal with that. All that good shit. So this matchup can be played one or two ways, right? You can play the offensive way by just like, you see, if you see a lot of that, rule of thumb, Lariat clips that, right? The problem is these buttons are so fast that you don't want to lariat early. You want to lariat when you see the button coming out. Or another way you can do it is you can sweep the button as well too. So from right here, because of how far his jab reach, his hurt box is literally underneath it. So you can easily sweep it. Or another one, you can stand jab it too. You can stand jab that as well too. So you can always stand jab that. So then there's this. This slide right here is mad good. Now, what you can do against this slide is you can just block, right? Okay. You can just block, but you can just block it, right? But you can't SPD it, right? So what you can do is, let's get you back over here, right? What you can do is, if you see it, you can trade. You can trade, or you can get a good jump in. Because if you right here, sometimes what they end up doing, what claws will end up do, they'll try to get a good slide, and then you can just safe jump into an SPD. Or you can get a good three-piece because Claw's stun is kind of high in this game. So you get a good three or four piece off of him, then he's stunned. So you get that. And let's say if he is stunned, what I opt for is put that man instantly in the corner. I don't go for the SPD because that's just taking the damage, but he still has a lot of real estate to work with. I'd much rather take away the real estate, because here he has to decide if I'm either gonna jump in, or if I'm gonna walk up, or I'm just gonna play footsies. Playing footsies with this, playing footsies with Lariat, or playing footsies with the sweep or so. So he's gonna have to kind of think about that. And then because when I mean by walk up, I mean like walk up, this obviously, walk up SPD of course. But you want to make sure you want to keep him in the corner there. You let him leave the corner, then that man's gonna, have his way. And then obviously, everybody want to know how you deal with this. Right? Everybody want to know how to deal with that shit, right? I ain't gonna lie to you. Sometimes I don't really have the answer, but I just go for reversal lariat, or just get a good time lariat out of it. Or rule of thumb, if he's going across the screen, that's an instant jump. That's an instant jump headbutt right there. Get the instant stun, and then basically you just have your way with them afterwards. Because in this matchup, Claw does not want to go across the screen from you unless he knocks you down. But if he doesn't knock you down, he's going to go off the wall that he's on the side of. So always remember that. And then because that's what I'm saying. Then you can just get get that as well. Then it. He has to be immediate. The way how this works, he has to be immediately over your head. So my headbutt shouldn't hit that. If he's not above my head, this is free. But if he is, I'm gonna get clipped. So I opt for just doing lariat, especially on cross-up situations. And I'm pressing lariat myself. Not all the time this is gonna work. That's a difference. But you get a good clean lariat out of it. And you just block. And then you just block, and then you should be it. Because a lot of times, the gameplay revolves around the wall dive. So you have the option to just block it, kick lariat it, and then when you do a kick, when you get a good click, get a good kick lariat out of it, and obviously you just go for a safe jump. You just get a good safe jump out of it, and then, have your way with them. But this matchup still isn't easy because, Claw still can jump in with jump medium kick, right? Because they're gonna do something like this a lot of times. They're gonna do this a lot because and then you got the flip kick of doom. You got this to deal with because this and then you can just store it. So just play it pretty much play it carefully. And if you see the wall dive, don't freak out about it. Just kind of block and lariat. And if he does like an improper jump, like if he does like an improper jump from let's say from right up here, so I'm gonna do something like this. If he does something like that, right? Because you can tell if he does it too high. because they like to do this a lot. So if they end up getting this, they like to do that a lot. So you should just churn butter pretty much from there, because if you churn butter from there, then you should be okay. Or you can opt for plan B. Plan B would be, you know, jump medium punch. Medium punch is pretty good. Also, jump medium punch can stop wild eyes as well too. So if you see something like, you know, so let's say for example you see that, right? And you talk about jump medium punch. Jump medium punch pretty much works as well. Yeah, jump medium punch works pretty. Yeah, jump medium punch works pretty well. It's just that you have to make sure you time it, because they will go for the early stab in the air. So the earlier you get this out, the better. All right, let's move on to another matchup, right? Alright. Yeah, I know this one. Chun-Li, right? Alright, strongest woman in the world. Alright, give me one second. Just use the restroom quick fast. Ah, boy. Alright, folks, I am back. Let's continue, shall we? Okay, so we're up to Chun-Li, right? Alright, it's more 7-3 matchups, of course. This matchup, I think it's more of a complicated matchup, personally. I feel, regardless, Chun-Li wins it. But what it is just that the win condition for Gief is basically you can beat her. You can beat her, not mid-screen, but I mean, usually win conditions for Gief is usually you have them cornered, then they have to guess, right? So I like to believe that, you know, mid-screen you can beat them, but it's kind of tough to deal with because the following buttons is pretty tough to deal with her, right? You know, her stand jab. Her SPD is more greater than mine. They call it the handshake of doom. You know, this right there. A lot of them, I would say like beginner to your intermediate chuns, right? If they feel desperate enough, they'll go for that. I call it the wombo combo because they love to do this. Literally love to do that. Because either they don't know stun combos or something like that. You know what I mean? No, they got no combos or anything like that. But you know, immediate chuns can pretty much advanced and expert chuns definitely know what they're supposed to be doing. So in neutral, gotta worry about this, gotta worry about that. This back fierce as well because this is pretty good on jump in. And then this button, the magical stand medium kick is so damn good. Clips your jump ins like that. So what you want to do is in this matchup, you want to play a whole lot of footsies. Well, you got to play footsies with lariat and sweep, right? So, for example, you got lariat pretty much beats that clean, but sometimes the most troublesome part is lariat just doesn't, it doesn't reach the way it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? So what you want to do is sometimes you can purposely take the hit, right? Because taking the hit does not, it's not the end of the world, but you're much better off being closer than being further. So sometimes taking the hit is also pretty good. Like me, I purposely sometimes I just purposely be right there, right? So it's like full screen. And I could just get in pretty much from there. Now the other thing that, like I said, the other button that's pretty much a bane to deal with, that, because a lot of them will go for the crouch medium kick. That button's so fast and so accurate, it's just impossible to deal with, right? So your only option is Gief. Your only option is Gief is sometimes just take the trade or stand medium kick it, because she still has to crouch forward. She has to crouch in order to get that button. She has to crouch no matter what. Even though it's quick. But a good stand medium is pretty good. So you got stand medium kick to be, pretty much deal with it. and then lariat to deal with the fireballs, and then obviously you got the super, right? You got the super to deal with, right? Super, three ways you can deal with it, right? The optimal way of dealing with it, right? The optimal way of dealing with it is kick lariat, right? That's the more optimal way of dealing with it, right? But you have to be quick, because if you're not ready, you're gonna eat that. Check, do it. You gotta do it like this, right? That's the optimal way, right? Now I'm gonna show you two unconventional ways you can do it, right? This is unconventional way number one. Unconventional way number one is neutral headbutt, and then that crosses up, right? But this is a guarantee. But the difference is with this. Like I said, this is, let's just turn this back on, right? The difference is, that's a guaranteed stun, right? Literally a guaranteed stun. So, if you want to get, so basically you get a guaranteed stun, but you have to time the jump. If you time the jump incorrectly, right, you end up being in front and then you get clipped. Let's put the stun normal, that's probably why. Okay. Alright. So you get that. So basically, like I said, you get the stun from there, right? Let's turn that back on. That's and then that's max damage. Just because you whiffed the super. With the super in the headbutt, and then the headbutt into that, right? That's unconventional. That's unconventional way number one, right? Unconventional way number two, right? Is you got two options. You can do, and this one is really not recommended. You can just do a jump back 720, right? You can do a jump back 720, or you can literally just do a neutral 720, right? You got two options. So you got those kind of unconventional ways, but pretty much with Gief, your optimal way of really punishing it is just lariat. Basically, like kick lariat. But if you want to be extra, right, and you want to do it for style points, you obviously can just opt to the headbutt, right? You can literally just opt to the headbutt and do that. Either that, or you could just, like I said, you could easily just whiff 720 into that, or pretty much. So basically, with her, you can, like, if she whiffs a, fireball, like I said, you can go for the standard B&B, like, oh, why did I turn off stun? That's my bad. Normal. So, you can go for the normal B&B, really, right? Like, forward fierce, sweep, jump roundhouse sweep. Or if you got her knocked down, get a good cross up. You got the 5-hitter right there. or you deal with it, or you know for a fact you deal with a chun that don't block, right? Now, mind you, this, you know, the cross up into like crouch medium and lariat don't work on her. So what you want to opt to do is just splash. You want to do like this. Just get the 2-piece, and then just do it again, and then you just get the stun afterwards. Right? And then, you know, the 720, you just get max damage afterwards. But you just got to make sure you just build your meter. Like in this matchup, you're more preferred to build your meter to just have the threat of it, because, you know, almost all the chuns is going to go from fire. They're going to go full screen, right? They're going to go full screen, they're going to fireball, and they're going to build lightning legs to build up their meter, right? And then pretty much they want you to know that they have the meter. And then, you know, the stored, you know, super, that's always pretty much an issue. So you kind of have to know, you know, condition yourself to know when it's going to come. Have you ever done the headbutt punishing tournament? It seems very complicated. Yeah, I've done it before. I have done it in, you know, casuals and tournament as well. But it's a complicated setup, right? It's a complicated setup because it's one of those setups that you don't look for. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, you can easily whiff it, and then it becomes I mean, it's not the end of the world if you end up whiffing it, because you want to have a layer on top of it. So, like, let's say, for instance, again, let's go back to it, right? Ah, shit. Let's say if you end up whiffing it, right? So if you end up whiffing it, sometimes. Alright, hold on. I gotta do that over again. If you end up whiffing it, it's not the end of the world. You still have about 1/10 of a second to just do an SPD. So I'm gonna give you an example, right? You still have ample time to just do an SPD afterwards, right? Because if you do it too early, you guarantee to whiff it. But if you do it on time, you're gonna get the hit. But if you do it too early, like up here, you can still, you know, do an SPD. And then the other thing that you want to do, right? Right? No, not that. So here's another thing you want to deal with, right? Another thing you want to deal with is if chuns, right? Chuns have this notion. Chuns have this notion to just go for the stomp, right? So if they want to troll you with stomp, right? If they want to troll you with stomp, right? Here's what you do. This is me. What I would do, right, is just SPD them right to the ground. Just give them something to think about, right? Because the only way this could go bad, for you, right? If they're mid-screen here, and then this kind of just like resets the whole thing. So what you want to do is try to condition yourself into just the Russian, you know, the Russian suplex, because even though it puts you max distance, it puts her right in the corner. And basically it starts all over. So you can choose between positioning and you can choose between damage. So this is damage. No, that's not damage. That's damage right there. That's the damage. Right? Let's put you back over here. So you can just go for the damage, or you can just come on. You can go for the damage, or you just go for the positioning. Right? You got options. I feel like if you have the life lead, you can always go for the damage. But if you don't have the life lead, go for the positioning. Because positioning with Gief is always important. And then basically, you know, kind of work your way in. If you see a fireball, green hand in, the SPD, of course. Like, that's basically like any other fireball. You see a fireball, green hand in, SPD. Right? But if you're too far, you know, use light SPD. But if you're stupid far, and you try to whiff it from here, then yeah, you ain't gonna be successful. You gotta be like, pretty much, see like right here, you take like 1, 2, you get like a good heavy. So like with light, you do 1, but that's still whiff. So you got 2 steps, 1, 2, so 1, 2, and then basically 1, 2, then basically go in, like so, and then you just go for the light. But then again, you can't go for the light, so you gotta do 1, 2.5, and then go right there. 1, 2. Like 2.5 steps, and then you should be okay. 1, 2. Should be okay from here. Or what you can do is you can just go from here and then just kind of micro step. You can just micro step SPD as well. So you just like kind of green hand, walk forward, and then just 360 from there. So like you do here and do that. So just micro. So the key to micro walking SPD is when you just kind of step a little bit, and then just like basically do a 270 when you do it. So like step once, like half a step, and then just go from there. So this half a step, like I said, and then 270 in. So, and then you should be okay pretty much. If you kind of feel like you're gonna whiff, kind of feel like if you're gonna whiff and you're not in range, so you just kind of like micro step and 270 up, and then you're good from there. But yeah, that's how you kind of sort of deal with Chun in a way. Oh, and one last thing before I go. Another thing that she will be very infamous for, that's another thing. So if you get like, let's say for instance, right, you get a safe jump, you can lariat, or another way you can do it, you can headbutt it, but you have to be like super responsive, like super active on it. Like you gotta be early on that. Like you gotta be real early on that. But I don't go for it because I'm not too good at it. I know Cigar Bob goes for this a lot, and Vodka. So they're goated for going for this. I just opt for the lariat just to get the setup, because they're gonna try to wake up with that to just disturb your tick setups. So kind of be mindful. So if you have a knockdown, you wanna opt for just do stand light, just to do it early. Like so, like, and then if they're gonna go for that, then you should be okay. But another one that's unconventional, and it's SPD setup. But the problem with this SPD on landing is Chun's landing frames from her SBK from her up kicks it's like weird. It's like it's not when she comes down. It's like she hasn't fully landed, so you have to like wait. Like you have to like kind of wait it out. So, like for example, see like right there. Even though she landed, I still whiff. Like she has to like be there for like a second. One. So I have to kind of count into my head for that. One. Like that. I have to literally count it in my head to make sure that she is grounded on the ground. Because a lot of Chuns will kind of, the Chuns that I would play, they would kind of confuse me for thinking that I'm going to lariat. If I'm in the corner, I could go for the setup, but I could also go for the damage and get the setup also. And I just have my way pretty much from there on. So, overview of this matchup, just be mindful. A lot of crouch medium kicks. Stand medium kicks is pretty good too. A good button to just jump in with is jump knees, right? Jump knees is pretty good. Or jump medium kick too, because it has pretty good priority over most of her buttons. And then, if you do it pretty early from like max distance, you can still get an SPD off of it. Or you could just, or if you want, you could be pretty much unconventional with the setup. You could go for a 3-piece. Or you could just do, like I said, SPD early. Early again. Just beating her reversal timing. So it's like that. So yeah, pretty much like that. Alright. Let's go to another character, right? Alright. Let's go to Cammy. Alright, this matchup. So, I personally think this matchup is harder than the Honda matchup. Why? Because Cammy's buttons are so quick. I feel like this is like playing Blanca version 2, but she has a DP, right? But he has a DP. So, you got crouch medium kick. That sucker is fast. Crouch fierce. That blows up his jump-ins, right? These two buttons blows up everything. And then obviously, you got DP, right? DP or you got a well-spaced cannon drill, because that's what you can do that, right? So as Gief, let's say for instance, alright, you're gonna experience a lot of that crouch and medium kick. What's up, Fang? For that, you have to opt to the trade. You ain't got much of a choice but to opt for the trade. With her, it's like, you gotta play a lot of trades with her, because the trade is gonna be in your favor, right? It's just that her buttons are so good, you kind of have to, deal with it. But this is the other thing that's the problem with her as well. The other problem with her is the DP, because the DP on the DP on block, you can't really do anything. You can't really do anything. You're not supposed to even get that. Usually you just get a block. See, like right there, can't do nothing. Can't do nothing with that. You have to be like, you gotta be dumb close to get a good punish, right? So what you can do, right, is you can get a good walk, stand, medium kick. Not from that distance. That distance, you're gonna have to just hold that, right? You're gonna have to just kind of hold that. So in this matchup, you gotta do a lot of stand, jab, right? Just to get the proximity block because they want to walk back. Get a good sweep. But this button is, I don't want to say it's useless in this matchup, because if you get it early, if you get it really good early to just beat her reversal, then you're okay. But sometimes if you do it late, her DP will blow that up. So what you want to do is when you get the knockdown, just kind of like go from there. And then if she's in the corner, right? If she's in the corner, you gotta like save. You gotta opt for the safe jump. But if you spin the wrong way, you gotta make sure you just follow up with a sweep afterwards, because more than likely, a lot of camis is gonna go, just gonna opt for the hooligan right off the friggin' rip. You know what I'm saying? And obviously that move is quick as hell. That move is quick as hell. But you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready for this one. But you can just be ready by just doing lariat. Or instant jump roundhouse from there on. Camis be wildin'. Yeah, Camis be wildin', bro. Camis be wildin', bro. I mean, a good setup that I've learned to do is if they get an early, no, that's not what I want. If they get like let's say for example, get like a DP off the rip, right? Let's say if they get a DP right in my face, right? If they end up getting a DP right in my face, if they get a DP right in my face, what you can do, right? You can't just green hand in there. So if you have her cornered, right? You can just green hand right there, and then just push her, just enter her back into the corner. And then, and once you're in the corner, it just basically, it should be lights out from here on. And then that's another thing. If they do a wild cannon, if they do like a wild cannon drill, right? Especially like if they do it super close, just opt for the, I would say just opt for the Russian suplex. But in this position, sometimes just going for the damage is pretty is pretty good also, because in this matchup, even though you're cornered, if you have her cornered or so, it's kind of like you know, it's kind of hard because she can still get out, and containing her in the corner is pretty hard as well. So it's just a matter of attrition. You got the life lead, he held on to that life lead. But if they do like a, you know, obviously you got that, but also if they do like a cannon drill, you can opt for a neutral jump. Especially if they do like light, you can opt for, you know, doing jump roundhouse into, you know, low roundhouse. And this matchup is pretty straightforward because all you gotta do, you got this button. No, not that. So you got pretty much, you know, stand medium kick is basically this button is pretty good. But you have to be like pretty much precise with this button. So, and then, you know, obviously watch for this, because it's like, it's one of those safe setups. It's like a really safe setup. And then Silent Scope will do, he'll do, you know, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So what you want to do is, no, that's too close. So what you want to do is, let's put you all the way back. Okay. You can't punish that, right? You can punish that. You can punish that also, because if they make the mistake with the cannon drill, you can punish that. And then, you know, or what you can do, right? Let's say if they do an improper cannon drill, crossed up, you can just cross them up from there. No. You can just cross them up from there on. But it kind of it pretty much applies if you want the setup or you want the damage. But choice is yours, really. But if you go for the setup, you have to be real precise, because they will try to match reversal. So opt for the SPDs, opt for the SCD reset, or just bait it. So you have the choice from there on. Let's see. All right. Actually, so let's go over some advanced stuff, right? Some advanced tricks that I want to show you guys, right? So, for example, let's say playing DJ, right? So with DJ, pretty much a lot of times, you know, you know, you got the fireball from there on, right? Now, what you want to do sometimes with DJ is, you know, this guy is a walking touch of death character. Things to know what in this matchup you look for is, so like that light Sobot. Always remember, if he does this right in your face, that's a punish, right? That's a punish. That's also a punish, but up close, you can't punish that, or you can't punish that with sweep. So things like that, you kind of have to hold that, right? Another thing you shouldn't worry about, this slide here. This slide pretty much blows up a lot of Gief jump-ins, except, right? Except jump medium kick. So if it's, yeah, that blows up sweep too. So if you see something like that, you can't punish that. You can punish it, but if you get like a good distance, say like right here, now get like a good distance, you can't punish it. So you can just, jump in, or you can just SPD that, because if he's too close, you can SPD it. If you're too far, say like from right here, just hold your block. But if you're right here, that's a free punish. Or if you're trying to see it as a jump in, then you should be okay. But then, like I said, sometimes like I said, you can just blow that up pretty much. Cause Gief's jump knees is pretty good. It's a pretty good button. And then a lot of times when you get DJ in the corner, they're gonna opt for machine gun upper as a reversal or up kicks. So you can always bait it out. So usually as Gief, you bait it out as you can just bait it out, or just keep option select them in the corner. Yeah, so it's like, because with that, DJ can't really get out, so to speak. Like if he ends up landing, then you just want to just like kind of mix up your options against them. He has his occasional jump ins, like jump medium kick, jump roundhouse, and then jump light, the God hand. So what you can do against those, you can stand roundhouse. You can't do that. You can sweep that, but you have to be pretty much max distance with that. Or, the occasional lariat jump in, So you have things. Yeah, you got things like that. So this matchup, it can get pretty dicey. I think this matchup is pretty even. I kind of peg it in slightly DJ's favor, only because of his normals. But I think once DJ gets knocked down, then it becomes a 10-0 situation, because he has to guess. And if he guesses wrong, then he's eating more damage. So like I said, one of the one of the tricks of the trade. One of the tricks of the trade that I like to show is, you know, if you're like kind of walking down in in neutral, right? This goes for people who can't walk up SPD. Walk up SPD is pretty hard because not only you kind of have to like, you know, you hold it forward or so, but you have to kind of flick it back. I mean, there's a hijiki screw that people does. The hijiki screw, you just like kind of flick it. Just like kind of flick it and then you just do so. But for me, I can't really do it too. Well, I can do it, but I'm not 100% with it. I much rather just, you know, just kind of, you know, pseudo flick it in a way. So I end up just kind of, instead of just flicking it, that you know for a fact that this has to go back to neutral, I just make sure I just flick it my own way and just hold on to it. And then just kind of snap. Like I'm snapping my wrist in terms of just making sure I just do it, right? So in neutral, if you're trying to do that, you know, just kind of like guide it and just like do so. Because if you do it too quick, you get green hand. So you just want to kind of just do it a little slow. And just kind of walk up and just occasionally just do it like so. Another way you can do it is like, if it's too quick, you could just do like, you know, stand jab. You can just stand jab it to the SPD like that, because not only it kind of keeps him in proximity block as well, but basically you could just like, it gives you so much time to just do it. So you just, right after the stand jab, you just kind of do the input and then just punch like so. So like stand jab. Now I just put the camera down to just show you guys. So just stand, you know, just kind of like, you know, or it can do with stand light kick as well. Another thing is, you know, that's the you know, this is considered the snake eyes, because snake eyes did this in HDR, but this is just as viable. So like stand roundhouse SPD as well. And then, you know, if you want to be real more creative with the walk up, you know, you can just, like I said, do the inchin. Like I like to do the inchin SPDs because I want to give them the fear that knowing that I can either opt to, you know, kind of just opt to a stand, you know, crouch jab, or far jab, or sweep, or crouch light, or stand light. I just kind of opt to that. But if I just go ahead and just like, you know, just kind of like, and just kind of flick it from there, because do something like that. Kind of, you know, be creative with the, you know, with the approach though. So you just, or you just like, you know, kind of jab it through. and then you just do some things like that. So we went over in terms of, you know, making sure you know about the diet effect, because the diet effect is important. I mean, the diet effect is pretty standard in terms of like majority of the, pretty much almost all the Gief matches, right? So you want to know your position. Instead of you can't do a full screen, but you can opt to do like, you know, running bear grab, or just, you know, go for a sweep, or just kind of just like do it and just do nothing, because you can kind of bait out, you know, a reversal or a DP or anything like that. So you just kind of like go from there, or just like, if you're close enough. So to know that you can get a fierce SPD, you have to be right here. To get a jab, you can be pretty much like you see with this guy's fist is waving right there. That's kind of like that's kind of like max distance. So you can go like right here, and then also this causes proximity block as well too. So you can just do like this, and then, you know, then have him lock down afterwards. Now, you know, you do things like that though. And then another thing is, right? you know, you got your combos pretty much like. Let's see. So you got like, okay, so it's like, you got that. You got plenty of reset. You got the reset options too, so you can do like this. You can do like really get the max damage out of it if you want to do a stun. You can do that also, or you can do like, no, that's not what I wanted to do. You can do something like this, but this is kind of really not advised, but it's kind of cool anyway. You can do like another reset like this. You can do something like that. You can do like, you get the 4 hit, right? You get like a 4 hit piece out of this. So that's like pretty much 50% right there. Or you could do something like this. That's like 55% pretty much. And that's, instead of using lights, you just do like a heavy. Or so another 50% pretty much. From the front there, you can do it also. So pretty much that's what you can do. But how I pretty much view the matchups, I view them instead of like, I view them pretty much like I said, I just kind of like take my time in terms of just going in. You don't want to force it, and always remember, don't mash the SPD, right? Personally, I don't like mashing. I mean, there's some, you know, there's some instances I would say I would mash, but majority of the time, I'm not gonna mash it. Like, there's no way there should be a reason for you to mash or anything like that. Like, I would say the only thing I would mash is just Lariat, because it's pretty much a really good failsafe, but it's very situational. But a good situational mash would be just kick Lariat. That's what I would do. But yeah, I mean, take your time in terms of going in the matchup. I like to say dictate, like, let the opponent dictate the matchup, because as a grappler, you're looking for openings, right? You're looking for openings. You're not looking for you're not trying to set the tone. For me, I like to condition my opponents by let them tell me their story, so to speak. I got that from my wingman, from my bro. But let them tell you what they're about in neutral, right? You kind of pick apart. I saw that FK throw is a great corner carry throw. It is. It's a really good corner carry. Really good. Because a lot of times with Gief, you can do a lot of corner carry situations. It's a lot of corner carry, even though you're back full screen, pretty much, right? You're back full screen here. So say like this, you start from like right over here. So you play like here. And he's literally back here. So it's like, and then, you know, pretty much you're back mid-screen here. So it's like, it literally takes two. So if you're like pretty much like where I put DJ with his young lady is, get a good clean jump in. And my man's already in, you know, in position to be in this corner already. So kind of have to like really look at that kind of things there. All right, let's do Balrog, right? Okay, this matchup, I think this matchup is funny as hell. So, a lot of the boxers feel Gief has the matchup, right? A lot of geese feel Rog has the matchup, right? I say it's pretty much evenish, but I feel like if Boxer is full screen, it becomes a 7-3 matchup, because if he plays it perfectly, Gief can't come in from full screen. If Gief gets the knockdown here, it's 10-0, because Boxer's only wake-up option is either headbutt or super, and both of those can be easily baited out by safe jumps. So round start is very interesting, right? Round start, basically from right here. Roggs is gonna back up. Low rush. Right? Low rush. So he has to. This man has to space this pretty well, right? So you see like there? But you have to kind of stand, you kind of have to, like, you know, rapid jab to stop the low rush. Another button is crouch jab too. Crouch jab actually works pretty well. But if he will do, the Rog will do light low rush because it's the quickest. He's not gonna do roundhouse because that sucker takes like that sucker is like in slow motion and you can punish that with sweep easily, or medium. You ain't gonna do that either. Light, especially just the low rush in there, right? So pretty much, let's say you got the knockdown, right? Another thing is a lot of rods will do this. To make it think like it's a true string, right? They'll think that's a true string, but it's really not. You can literally lariat that for free. Because that's not a true string. That does not exist. Maybe online it's harder to react because, you know, it's online and it feels like it's underwater. But offline, yeah, that's a free punish. Every time. That's a free punish. Pretty much on wake up, you definitely have to look about, you know, round the jump ins, because the jump ins basically he could use crouch fierce, you know, stand medium, neutral medium, pretty much. And you could do like roundhouse from there too. So what you want to do is round start with, you know, against Rog. You want to walk that man down and just block. Like if you get hit, it's not really the end of the world, but the Rogs does not want to get hit at all. Like Rogs don't want to get hit. If they get hit, it's like they have to make sure they are, you know, they're good. So they have to just back up. Then you got to meet a lot of Rogs that's going to be flowchart. Like they're gonna do like rush. They're gonna do like, you know, rush upper. You know, rush upper. You know, rush upper into grab. You know what I'm saying? That shouldn't really exist because you can just easily sweep. You can just easily sweep that, and then always remember, this is the biggest thing right here. You can punish his super. You can always punish his super. Now, maybe kick super might be a different story. Actually, hold on. Alright. Maybe not. I think you can. Yeah, I think you can suspend. I think you can punish this too. Yeah, you can punish this as well too. But remember, kick super. Oh, another thing too. You can actually hold up. Like, you can lariat. You can lariat on reaction. If he does punch super, you can lariat on reaction. If he does kick super, don't lariat, because the kick super will blow up the lariat. But you can sweep it, but I just advise just take the full block and then just, you know, SPD. But like I said, in terms of the 10-0 situation, if he gets knocked down, it becomes like this. And you get a safe jump to headbutt, and then just keep going from then on. Like, Rog really had. Yeah, it's like he can't really do much in the corner unless he gets a good headbutt and the Gief makes the mistake. Then he can just, like, if he gets the headbutt, then, you know, this man's out of there. He's out of there. He's gonna go full screen, and he's just gonna start all over from then on. And then another thing, like what you can do is you can whiff punish the sweep. You can do like with stand medium kick, but if you get too close, you can just you can just whiff punish the sweep. It's pretty quick. You gotta be pretty quick about it. But stand medium kick is pretty good. And stand medium punch as well. But you got stand medium punch is one of those buttons that you gotta see the button out. You gotta see the button active before you whiff punish with that first. But then, like I said, you got then you can just make sure you get the 720, and then you can get the safe jump off the jump medium kick, and then and then from there on. So I think I covered all the. I think I covered all the characters. So if anybody in chat has any questions, you can feel free to ask me. Oh, it's done. But I mean, hopefully I explained a lot of. Hopefully I explained to the best of my ability. But obviously, if you guys have questions, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube, and I'm willing to answer a lot of some questions as well. I mean, hopefully it can get some traction as well, but everybody has their. I always like to say to other geese, especially those who like to start off, is you gotta learn to lose at first, right? You're gonna learn to lose at first, and then it's a hard road, but it's one of those roads that it changes a person. Like it changed me. Like I became a whole lot more hard working. He is very rewarding. In this game, he's pretty rewarding. Came a long way. Came a long way with this guy. I mean, it's like I said, there was a point that I thought I was gonna quit with this character, but I kind of just learned a few things. I mean, like I said, you gotta shout outs to Riz One, because he was the one that prevented me from quitting this game, and all the other Gief greats like D. Ferroles, Vodka Gabalski, Cigar Bob, at a point. Karopi as well too, and Evanon. But obviously TMF, Stomach Momio, Gunze, Pony, Sellotape, Taskanuke. I mean, all those guys. I mean, do I pay attention to them? I usually pay attention to more of Stomach Momio and TMF, but I usually do things differently. I like to have my own personality in terms of how I play Zangief as well. So I do a lot of things that a lot of normal Zangief won't go for. People think it's crazy. People think it's nuts. I think it's I think it's very rewarding, very very rewarding. And I would say like if you want to follow how my style of Gief. First things first, I will say I'm honored. That's one thing, and the other thing is always I you just kind of compare it to life. Just take your time, read the situation, then you'll be okay. You have like all the time you need just to just make the necessary reads that you need to do, right? And just keep it simple as well. But if you want to complicate things, then that's more of the reward side of things. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube, and if you, like I said, you have any questions, I'll, feel free to ask. Exactly. Let the chaos reign afterwards. Like I said, if you have any questions, you can feel free to message me there, or you can feel free to just like reach out to me if you have me on Discord or on Twitter, which is at Macro Castle Guy. It's not White Castle Guy, it's Macro Castle Guy. And also give a pretty good review if you can. I mean, I like to see the reviews. I mean, I'm all for the honest takes. If it's not good, you can always say it. Then you know for a fact where I can improve on or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, feel free to just ask questions or so. And so I enjoy asking questions. Or you can reach me on Discord. And let me put up my Discord quick fast. Let me copy my Discord quick fast. Hold on. If you want to reach me on Discord, this is my Discord. Yeah, I guess that's my Discord because it usually has numbers behind it. But yeah, the individual matchup tech was helpful. Yeah, I like dissecting it. I like to dissect the matchups. That's for sure. I really do. I like to really dissect matchups. It's like I think it's one of the main things that a lot of people ask don't ask about. I mean, they do ask about, but you know, they do ask about it, but yeah, it's kind of difficult though. But also just make sure if you want to learn, you want to break it down into smaller parts. Yeah, that's what I did. Also, you know, there's always the wiki. The wiki is pretty helpful. Shout outs to Born on SPD for the zangief section. You want to know more about the frames. And rule number one, if you're gonna, I have a question. It's more of a general question. How do you guys start playing a new game so well? For example, Street Fighter 6, you handle Gief excellently, although his timing moves are different. Uh, I would say this. um, it's kind of my architecture. I think when the beta dropped, I was playing more of Ken and relate old stuff to new stuff. Exactly. You kind of just do the old and put it to the new. Like everybody, like the Shotos have a low forward and a fireball, and then Ken has Jinrai kicks or something like that. Now, when it comes to Gief, it's kind of the same thing. He has an SPD. He has his jump roundhouse. His jump fierce is different. He does have jump splash, but it's just that along the way, what you should focus on is know your normals, right? You know your normals, know your basic combos at first, and then just feel it out. Then learn the mechanics along the way afterwards. And then obviously people comes out with like helpful videos or so. Like a lot of folks come out with helpful videos of like how to do drive, how to deal with drive impact, how you use drive rush into combos and everything like that. Till the funny thing, till this day, I I I still do simple combos with Gief, but it's kind of transformed over time. Like I could do some of the advanced combos, but I'd still keep it simple anyway. And more so is just learning and then just accepting the game afterwards. I used to, this dude in the chat, Hakudo, Mr. Metafly Hakudo, right? I used to message this dude a lot, and he could tell you. I used to message this dude a lot because he's like, he's Mr. All Star now. But I used to message this dude a lot. I'd be like, bro, how the hell you do it, bro? And then this man just telling me, yo, just go into training mode and just do stuff. Just do stuff. Ask yourself the question. Then, kind of figure it out. You'd be like, oh, okay. So it's like you putting building blocks together. You two and two together. And then, you end up making the dish. So you kind of just go in there, feel the character out, see his strengths, his weaknesses. Then obviously, when you kind of put it together, I'm not against the whole Battle Hub because I think the Battle Hub feature is pretty cool, but Battle Hub is just more for like, a lot of folks that, either they just casuals and just live up to the moment, or avatar battles, which I find pretty cool too. But I would probably suggest like if you feel like comfortable, go into rank and see how you will do, and then you just pretty much go from there. For me, I mean, right now, like I said, I got master rank with Gief, but I'm in 30K. I got like 30,000 league points. So, I mean, it ain't enough, but it's still somewhere. And I still do intend on playing it to just improve better because I think I could still do a whole lot better. And then that's the other part of a grappler life as well. That's the whole part of the grappler life as well. Just you know, just playing to just improve. And yeah, the pro lobby that F Champ is doing is pretty sick. I mean, that's for professionals, but I know for a fact, people like me not gonna be able to get in there anyway. That's a lot of sticks I have. Oh, you see? Oh, you see from the back. Oh, you see from the back there. Yeah, actually, how much is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, about 9 sticks. Is it 9 sticks? Yeah, it's 9 sticks. It's actually, I used to have 10. You just gotta make your own little group willing to play. That's true. I just let that go. But yeah, I used to have 10, but I gave one away. I gave one away to Min, Mr. TS Min, T Spooky Min. I gave that to Min because he was pissing me off playing on a Kwama drone. There's so many. I thought it had a DJ set up back there. Yeah, I mean, there was a point that I did DJ before, but I kind of stopped doing it. But yeah, man. Um, but yeah, dictator. Pretty much choose the character, know his normals, practice some basic combos at first, right? And there's all right now. There's always access to some videos that's out there. Kind of just look at the videos that you want to look at. Take your time. You don't have to rush into you don't have to rush into learning things. You have all the time in the world to really learn something, and just rinse and repeat. then just like do 10, 10, 10 execution, and then you should be okay afterwards. He has all 8 masters plus the bonus boss. Yeah. I mean, I like this stick a lot. This stick, shout out to Super V. Because we actually traded sticks. He gave me this one for the TE2, which I think for the Mad Catz TE2, which I personally think, I think that's actually a really that's a pretty even trade, to be honest with you, because the Dragon cost about 260 store price, while the TE2 is about 300 store price. So I would say 300 store price, but if you were to get it from a person who's selling it, those folks are going to sell it to you like for 400, 450, 5. It's kind of crazy, bro. Kind of crazy. 450, 500. The time goes on, man. It's kind of crazy, dude. It's crazy as hell. Let's see. But thanks for the answer. Nah, anytime, man. Anytime. Glad, glad to give it. Glad to give it. But but yeah, man. I mean, folks. I mean, you got my Discord, or I'm gonna post it on YouTube, and I'll put it on Twitter or so. I will actually. I'll put it on X. It's not Twitter no more. It's X. I'm gonna put it on that X. um. Yeah, but like I said, you got there's some Chinese sticks that's the copy of the TE2. They call the PX9 or something like that. Yeah, they are. They actually. That's funny. It's not a bad stick because you can still modify it anyway. I think the shell is just kind of weird though. The shell is type weird, but yeah. But there's 133. All right, I think I'm gonna end it here, guys. I appreciate folks dropping by for the pretty much the 3.5 hour Gief lesson, right? Um, if there's stuff that I feel that I'm missing, like I said, you can just let me know. I will upload this to YouTube, and if folks is interested in knowing upon what they want to do, they can always ask, or they can talk to me about it, and I can pretty much go more in detail in terms of how I feel in terms of certain matchups or so. And yeah, but I greatly appreciate those who are here interested that want to know in terms of how I view the Gief life or so, and I appreciate it. So what I'll do is let me send you somewhere. All right, I'll send you over to Riz. He's playing some CVS too. So I'll catch you guys later. I put roll zone. I put roll zone. But I'll send you guys over there. Like I said, thanks for the lessons in the stream. And anytime, like I said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to, always feel free to ask me. And I'll be here. So, Mega Man out. Peace out.